on Linux, to get set up with Python if you don't have it, to get set up with if you're on Windows, a terminal if you don't have it. So yeah, go and check out the table of contents, all the set of instructions. I'm going to be walking around and handing you some sticky notes as soon as I find them. But one of these sticky notes is going to be like pink or orange. You can put that on your computer, and that will signal the instructors that you need help with a problem. If you put up a green sticky note, we'll be doing check-ins throughout, and that means like I completed the challenge, I'm done. So make sure to use those sticky notes. Handing them out very soon. That's all for now. Yeah.
So with that, we want to start this summer school. Thank you all for joining this morning. So I have a couple of points that I would cover. These are just mostly logistics and just kind of go to the structures. One is that this is a school that is being sponsored by IEEE GRSS and also USC MHI, being Haitian Institute, and also sponsored by the GRSS chapter in LA section. And we would like to thank all of them to available and make the funding to have this event. The event would be a 3-day program. Today we would have the introduction to geospatial raster and vector data with Python. Tomorrow we would have deep learning for remote sensing data analysis, and the last day would be introduction to radar interferometry and its application. So I think by now you should all have these welcome package. Please make sure that read it. I have also sent it online. There are a couple of very brief notes. I think you already all have gone to the dining hall, so you should be familiar with that area. The major note is that we're going to be here today and tomorrow, and then the last day it would be a new location, which is pretty close to here. It's called Social Science Building. It's the landmark has like a fountain and stuff. You can probably see it on campus, so it's very close to here. Okay. I also want to give a shout out to a team because it took a village to basically prepare this event. We have Mariam Salim at the back of the menu, and then also Tiani Wang, and also our staff online, and also Archana been helping us a lot. There's been a lot of question about the recording of the event. We are recording it. We hope the quality will be good enough so that you can use it online on your convenience and speed. And in terms of the sharing the online material, it's still TBD. It might be on YouTube or it might be on the GRSS Resource Center. So we have to figure that out. In terms of the timeline, it won't be tonight. Hopefully by after IGRS, we will be able to release the event. So, okay, this is not about today's lecture, but we have had requests to get IEEE certificate. This is a voluntarily thing. You don't have to do it, but whoever wants to get a GRSS certificate for taking these classes and summer school, there is going to be exam. It's not very hard. It's like a 30-minute, 10-question tomorrow and the day after. So these are going to be for the interferometry class and the deep learning. You will also have assignments for this lecture that it's good that you do it and you learn it more and kind of reinforce all the learning process. So that's all about it. Today we would have the introduction to geospatial raster and vector data with Python. I don't go over to the introduction, and I leave that to the instructors, but our instructors today is Ryan Avery, who is basically like the node. He's a machine learning engineer at Development Seed. He develops machine learning models to detect land use and land cover change in medium and high resolution satellite imagery. He's passionate about helping organizations make sound decisions that improve environmental outcomes and livelihood. Ryan is a graduate from the Water, Vegetation and Society Lab, Stanford Waves. And while he was there, he created crop mask, RCNN, a project to train a state-of-the-art model to predict crop cycles boundaries in dry land. So, and then lots of accomplishments. So I would basically summarize it here.
Yeah, you don't need to list them all. I don't know why.
And then our other respected instructor is Chuck Daniels. He would be also, they would be leading this session together. Chuck is a cloud engineer at Development Seed, and he's a data engineer. He builds flexible data-driven systems, and is an advocate of using open data to solve environmental and social issues. We've worked with a Development Seed to build infrastructure for data providers like NASA to innovate new ways to distribute data on the cloud. He builds core infrastructure for Cumulus, which helps to better leverage cloud computing for data processing, storage, and retrieval of NASA's Earth observation data. Chuck is an experienced engineer with a background in cloud operation and software architecture. I hope you learned a lot from him because he's a very experienced and with a lot of background in the field. And he worked across several industries, including e-commerce and wellness, and served in roles ranging from e-commerce architect to director of the IT. So we still have time. I want to stop here, and the floor is yours. Thank you so much for making it happen, and I hope you guys enjoy it. The last thing before I basically disappear is that we still keep the USC chapter email as the main point of contact. Please make sure that if you have any question, send it to us. We try to get back to you as soon as possible. Today is going to be 4 sessions, 2 sessions in the morning. Each session is 80 minutes basically, and we have a 20-minute coffee break. So make sure to have some coffee too. It's going to be some hardcore coding, I guess. And we're going to have lunch at 12. It's going to be 1 hour, and we will finish the day by an invited lecture, which is Dr. David Conkey, is a former president of the IEEE GRSS, and also coming from Aerospace Corporation. The talk is going to be about the spaceborne environmental sensing, and we will leave that introduction at the event. So enjoy the session. Thank you.
So stand by. Distribution mode. Follow along with the setup instructions. And if you're having challenges with the setup, you can start using sticky notes. Put an orange sticky on your laptop. Or one of our other helpers. Do we have other helpers? Volunteers? Okay. So remind me of your name. Cool. So one of our helpers can come to you if set up.
All right, well, as Ryan, can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, I don't think I need a mic. So I'm Chuck. I will be assisting Ryan, so especially as he goes around, as he mentions, giving everybody free stickers. If you need help with anything, this is going to be live coding for the whole day, but we want to make sure everybody is able to keep up. So we're not going to rip through the code and leave people with dust. So that's what these stickers are for. We want to make sure that we pause, make sure everybody is able to keep up. If anybody's having difficulty, raise one of the orange stickers there, and we'll come around. That's also why we had to kind of try to spread out a little bit, since this is a lecture hall rather than just a classroom. It's going to be tricky to kind of navigate between people if we need to get in and help folks. Also, that's why we had you pair up. So that way, if we're not able to get around to everybody, hopefully you can resolve things in pairs. But we'll do our best to come around and support anybody who's stuck. So has everybody been able to get to the setup instructions? There, I don't know if these came in the mail. I don't work out. No, okay. Yeah, sorry, that's probably a bit to type out. Let me see if can I paste that in the Zoom? I don't know if that would help. Yeah, there's your chat. Okay, did the link show up in the Zoom chat? Is everybody able to click the link in the chat? Yes. It's in the Zoom chat.
Did you put the link to the assembly? So there's a
No, I
Zoom-
put this link in.
Can you put the link to the Zoom on here? So did everybody get an email to the Zoom? No.
Oh, okay. Well, that would.
Okay.
We want to do that, or is that going to be too problematic to have it?
I think you shouldn't need the Zoom. It's more important to have the Etherpad link to chat, like with the rest of the folks that are at this workshop in person. But can you post the link to that just in the UPS and then go and scroll down and put that below setup. Very good.
Everybody can get to this bottom link here is a link to this sheet that's being displayed here. So then you'll be able to get to that setup link. That work?
Very good question.
Everybody able to read this okay in the back? Yeah.
So you're all on the front of it. So if you're good, thumbs up. Pink 90. Calling for green stickies. Thumbs up.
Oh, wow.
That one, that last.
Did you just try it? Yes. Could you do me a favor and not sit right there? And instead sit somewhere more accessible, because the instructors are going to be walking around during the live coding workshop trying to help people. Okay. So we're prioritizing sitting at the edges if we can, or at the front. Sorry to ask you to move, but it's going to be really tough to come help you there if you're right.
I was wondering why is everybody sitting at the corner?
Yeah.
Spot right up front here.
Okay. Yeah. So, so Chuck, people are starting to put up pink or orange.
Need to be, okay. Just gotta see where everybody's sticky.
Okay, hey everybody. We're gonna get formally started with the workshop. So welcome. I'm Ryan Avery. So I'm going to be one of the instructors today. Chuck Daniels, if you could stand, Chuck. Just really briefly, sorry to interrupt you, but Chuck Daniels is another instructor, co-worker with me in Development Seed. We're going to be going over Intro to Geospatial Python. In order to do that, and for those who have just walked in, you need to complete the setup instructions. So we have links right here with the table of contents for all of the workshop material that we're going to be going through today, and the setup page. So check out the table of contents to familiarize yourself with what we'll be covering. Then immediately go to the setup page and do these setup instructions if you have not done them already. Who is currently working on the setup instructions? Show of hands. As expected. Awesome. So we're going to have a flexible amount of time for us to all kind of get on the same page and ready to the workshop. This is going to be most useful for you if you can live code along with myself and Chuck. So we're going to make sure we dedicate time to getting everybody set up. So please put up a pink sticky if you have a question or if something's not working on your computer as you're going through these setup instructions. I'm going to be looking around and Chuck's going to be looking around. So I'm going to do a little more intro, but then I'll also be walking around and helping folks. So as I was walking around, I got some questions from folks. Like, what is this workshop all about? Like, how did this get made? Who made it? What's going on here? So I'll start off by saying that, so besides working at Development Seed as an ML engineer, one of the other hats I wear is as a carpentries instructor. So what is the Carpentries? Carpentries is a nonprofit organization whose mission is to teach researchers fundamental programming skills so that they can do their research more efficiently, reproducibly, and just generally be more effective. Carpentries, they train up volunteer instructors every year. They have a variety of lessons, not just about geospatial Python, but on introduction to Python, introduction to R, introduction to Unix, introduction to data analysis and ecology, and all these different domains. So this lesson was initially developed for R, and that's out, and you can go through that R lesson. I forked that lesson and turned it into a Python lesson. A lot of updates have happened since then. I've contributed, Chuck has contributed, folks from all over the world have contributed to this lesson to make it something that we can teach in a full day and kind of covers what I wish I had known when I was a grad student at University of Santa Barbara. Yeah, hopefully this is going to be really useful. The goal of this is like to teach someone who doesn't have a ton of experience in Python programming, doesn't have a ton of experience in geospatial specific Python programming, but maybe has like some exposure to geospatial or GIS. Maybe you took a GIS class, or maybe you have much more experience in that. So it's going to be useful either way. Yeah, so today what this lesson is going to cover is primarily how to access data from the Sentinel-2, Copernicus Sentinel-2 mission. So that's an optical satellite imagery data set. And we're going to be fetching that from the cloud. So this is going to be working with satellite data maybe a little differently than we've experienced before. We're not going to be, clicking through a GUI and downloading files. We're going to be handling all of the data access with Python. We're going to handle all the plotting with Python, all the metadata inspection with Python. And we're going to be combining this imagery with vector data. So we're going to be examining a data set of agricultural fields in Amsterdam and using that to crop the imagery, to resample the imagery, reproject. We'll be doing some zonal statistics later. We'll even get a little bit into high performance computing with DAS and how you can run your calculations in a parallelized fashion. So yeah, we're going to be covering a lot. 8 hours of live coding, as I said. So get your energy up, prepare. It's going to be a lot of fun. And please, 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 what I ask is use those stickies. Be communicative about when you need help so that you can follow along. That's going to help you get the most out of this lesson. Okay, so with that, I'm just going to go back to the setup page. Or I'll go back to this this links page just so people can navigate. But oh, and then I should say a little thing about you should open this link in another tab, pad.carpentries.org, IGARS 2023. And you, the learners, can drop notes into this Etherpad, and it'll show up in the document. So you can communicate with each other. You can like write notes about like interesting things that come up in the lesson. You can put down questions in the chat if you want me, the instructor or Chuck, the instructor, to address something specific. And so, yeah, feel free to take advantage of. Yeah, awesome. Wow, that kind of appears very large on the screen here, doesn't it? Yeah, I wonder if I zoom out a little bit. That's someone test the chat. Okay. Alrighty. Maybe that's ideal. Maybe that's not. We'll roll with it. So yeah, put in the chat. If you have any questions, put in the notes document if you have any like permanent thoughts that you want to record for the workshop, and then like refer to later, because this notes link I think will persist after the workshop for some amount of time. I don't know if it'll always be up, but it will persist. Yeah, before I walk around and try to help people get set up, does anyone just have any general questions about the workshop? Yeah. You need to download Anaconda, or what was the Google Colab? Can I use Google Colab? You can use Google Colab for this. The reason, kind of the philosophy of the Carpentries is they want you to feel comfortable using your own hardware, your own machine. Google Colab might not persist the notebooks that you're going to work on today. So that's less than ideal. And in your day-to-day research, you're probably going to be using your own machine more than Google Colab. So I do recommend getting set up on your own machine with these materials. Take advantage of Chuck and I. We're here to help you get set up on your own hardware today. If worse comes to worse and like we're really blocked for some reason, or your system is difficult to work with, yeah, we might suggest doing this in Google Colab. And any other questions? General questions? All right, I'm going to walk around. I expect this to take like 15 minutes. We'll probably get started at like 9:20, 9:30 with the actual lesson content. But I'll do another survey check-in like in about 10, 15. So, okay, let me. I'm gonna show you. So I did things a little backwards, or I think I should show you what it looks like to open Jupyter Lab. I think I've been away from this for a while, so I think I've assumed that people like know Jupyter Lab, and that's totally not the case. So let me show you what it looks like to follow this part of the setup instruction. So here we go. So here I'm going to the table of contents page. We're going to go to the setup instructions. I'm following these instructions for a Mac. So I already have Anaconda downloaded. If you don't, you'll need to download Anaconda, which is going to be what you use to install Python. as well as the Python dependencies that we're working with. So I'm gonna skip past these steps, but you should do these steps in the terminal to get the lesson directory set up, as well as downloading the data, like so. But for now, I'm going to address the question here, which is, once I have the environment installed, how do I start? So I'm just going to copy this to make sure that I can install the environment because I don't have it. So this is like, you can run this command conda create, which will create. It'll download Python as well as all the Python dependencies you need for the lesson. So we run that in the terminal. And then come down here and activate the environment in the terminal, and then start. So go. So I copied that. One of the commands in that lesson shows how to install all those dependencies. I'll run that. I think I've already done this step before, so this should. Here you see that it's installing Jupyter Lab, installing NumPy, it's installing Matplotlib, installing Xarray. Oh, maybe I didn't already have it. And some of you may not have seen environments before, conda environments. So why do we use environments? Environments are like siloed areas of your computer for particular versions of Python and Python dependencies. You typically make a conda environment for a particular project, because each project has its own dependencies. Like maybe I'll need TensorFlow for one project, but I don't need TensorFlow for another project. Maybe I need a much simpler set of dependencies for another project, just like Matplotlib and pandas. So we use environments to kind of keep dependencies siloed from project to project so they don't mess each other up. Cool. So I'm going to activate that environment. So once you install the environment, it's not always going to be active because you want the ability to switch from environment to environment because you're switching from project to project. So we're going to activate that environment. And now you'll see my terminal decorates the prompt with this. So if you see this in your terminal, in progress, you have the environment installed. Show of hands, whose terminal looks like this after they run activate? Yeah, so cool. Some people have gotten there, some people haven't. And we're gonna help folks that aren't there yet. So then to start Jupyter Lab, to answer your question at the end, you're gonna type Jupyter Lab after the environment is active. And this is going to show a lot on the terminal screen, but now we're leaving the terminal. Lab environment here. So it'll automatically open Jupyter Lab in your browser. And you'll see this interface. So this is where we want to get to. The first thing you're going to do when you get to this interface is you're going to open a Jupyter notebook. So you'll see this notebook sections, console sections, other sections. We're going to click the notebook section icon. And we're going to start an untitled notebook file, which is where we can run and execute code. And this is the environment that I'm going to be in today, that Chuck's going to be in today. We're going to code in this environment, and then you're going to code in it as well. Yeah. Cool. I can walk. Do you think it's better to walk around, or is there something I should address? Always. Yeah. Yeah, I'll walk around. But the final check to do here to make sure that your environment is set up properly is try to import the Python dependency rioxarray. So if that works, you will see this go turn from an asterisk into a 1. Yeah, sorry, yeah, of course. Yeah, so that turned into a 1. And so that means that rioxarray is imported, and we can like, do things with rioxarray and like take a look at it, look at all the methods. So I'm going to walk around and help some folks. With these workshops, there's always operating system specific issues, typically with Windows. So yeah, bear with me. And hope this thing needs any stickies here? Any companies here? Yeah. So,
If anybody's having trouble finding the desktop command where it's doing CD desktop, that you can just skip that. It doesn't have to be in that directory. It can be anywhere you want to be. Continue past that CD desktop.
So this is because I lost my mic somewhere, but I'll just project for now. Something came up where somebody went to the terminal I think, window. Like they open Jupyter Lab and then they open this terminal window. On Windows, this is going to put you in a prompt called CMD. We do not want to use CMD. CMD does not work well with Anaconda. We want to use a different terminal that you install from the setup instructions. So if we go to the setup instructions, this is going to show you that okay, it's going to have you install Anaconda, etc. Oh shoot. Yeah, sorry, these instructions are kind of missing the terminal I want you to use, but I want you to open Anaconda prompt if you're on Windows. Use Anaconda prompt. So don't use CMD. And that should solve your issue. You should have access to the conda command on the Anaconda prompt terminal. So after you install Anaconda, that should be available. I left it up there.
Oh, okay.
I'll get it. Yeah. So the other way is to keep this going, but so install mini content. Cancel that. That should happen a lot of times. Still have everything. To download Windows on that instead.
Oh, moving them. So one other question came up is you know, when you run the conda create command, it might take a long time. You might see this spinning line and it says solving environment. If that's taking like 5 minutes, that's too long. And so what I want you to do is I want you to do, and this is from the setup instructions, going back to those, conda install Mamba. So we go, so if you, so here's the tip, like if you see a spinning line for more than a few minutes, you may want to try speeding up the environment installations. So conda install -c conda forge Mamba. I need you to run that in your terminal. And then Mamba is a drop-in replacement for conda that is fast. That's all you need to know. That's all I really know about it. But yeah, Mamba is like fast conda for installing it. It can install things like 10 times as fast, and it installs at the same time. So try that. And keep putting up those pink stickies, orange stickies. Yeah, so try what I just said. So controls, okay. So if it's stuck in solving, on Windows, you would do Control C to cancel the environment installation. So Control C. I think on Mac it would be Command C. Yeah. Because that's not how you use Python programs that you install. You have to be in a Python interpreter. So the terminal interpreter is not the same as a Python interpreter. In a terminal, you write in a language called Bash. When you're in a Python interpreter, which is Jupyter Lab, that's where you can write Python. So this is so what? Yeah. You should do Control C. Yeah. So then open that. Oh, you're in CMD. Go to so now do well, it's not working now where it's trying to install something. So making good progress. You just need to cancel this.
Anybody cancel power? They're hard to see. There's a railing underneath your chair. Okay. There are plugs that are hard to see, the railing underneath.
That instruction on it install. I can
There should be
see
one.
for
Some rows, they have scripts, but.
So do me a favor, and if you have completed all the instructions and you can like import rioxarray and Jupyter Lab, put up a green sticky on the top of your laptop and keep it there. Yeah.
The backslash line continuation, copying and pasting that seems to fail. So some folks are having that fail.
Okay. So yeah, if that's failing, get rid of the backslash, and have it all be on one line. Let that go for a little bit. Did you all have Anaconda before coming here? Or did you just install? You had before, you had. So if this takes like forever, I would just reinstall Anaconda. You don't need to uninstall, like it should install on top of it. But I've noticed that like problems seem to go away when you do like a fresh install. When people come with installs. But let this give it like another minute or start downloading. In fact, Google mini conda and install that. That'll be quicker to install. Yeah, you have admin rights. Oh, you can't install it. Oh, then stick. Okay. Stick with this then. Worst comes to worst too. Not an industry. For you specifically, because you can't like you can try to pip install all of this. So have you seen pip before? PIP. So you would do pip install like everything after. But you give that a little more. I would actually. Well, you want to install it. You don't want two anacondas on your system. Okay, then install. You don't? I'll come back to you and like we'll try to figure this out. If you are able to install. So that's why you have the issue where you try to get and I think in this term, so instead you need to run all this on one. Yeah, so can you run all that on one line? Yeah, because you're trying to like it's Windows doesn't understand these slashes. So as you know, so you need to run all this. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry, you're on Windows. So probably this is all on one line. I like our slide. Curves are nice. Makes sense. The slashes are so much cheaper. Yeah, no, it wasn't terrible. A couple years back. Is that true? Let's first try Jupyter Lab with this new environment. And then that truly doesn't work. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'll make it. They were like okay, so we're going a little over my 15-minute estimate, which is totally fine. We want people to be set up, even though it's bloody and tough. So we're gonna give it like another 15-ish minutes. Yeah, I still see quite a few orange stickies and raised hands. We will get to you. I'm not ignoring you. It might take a little while. We don't have quite as many folks helping as I would like for this time. Next step is you already downloaded that. Okay. So this will go down. Go back to that. Yeah. So this is documentation, but I just want you to run the context.
I have everything.
Do it like one liner.
Yeah.
You want to help?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, if anybody's done and like got all this setup done and feels like they can walk around and help, come help. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Thank you for volunteering. Yeah, thank you. So this is yeah. Let's and then go back to try to run this. Though that looked like that was too much. Oh, yeah. So you're but I would go into your like downloads. I would agree that most of yeah, after installing, you want to restart that. How's it going? You're at space?
Okay, let me just.
Are you interested? But once you get there no. They're on the. Oh. So
I'm not sure people are aware, but there are power outlets on the rails of your chairs, under your chairs. So if you need power, go and search for those. They're there. I see them. They're kind of hidden. But yeah, you're going to need power today. For some operating systems, yeah, that's good. Good. Thanks for the feedback. This has been a lot of feedback, set of instructions. Yeah, these will be. You guys do want that. I agree. It would be helpful. We want you to use your. Yeah. Because that's what you need to use for Yeah. I think they can just. You want to issues that have
and I was about how exactly like
I don't know, like certain time and then you see like I don't know why, because some people
and so
I would cancel this. I wanted to install all of those tests with PI.
yeah.
So
I want to have like
you should already have Python.
I want to have like
Try that out.
things like that. But
Okay, sorry.
yeah, 10 minutes ago, that's what I
Some people it doesn't.
They have every well, they have 2 days, 3 days products and a 7-day product. But I think they have a lot of products. I don't know if they use it because they have
Oh, I did.
that's why I'm trying to hang on. My arm is not so it's like now yeah, come over here. Like, yeah.
So people that
Like, beautiful tables.
Windows, I guess, you can copy. So when you copy that bit by bit from all
Like,
this is folks.
they still want to turn to like spatial.
Replace like space slash space. Those are all good, yeah, it's just the problem is it's all run So we starting about a half hour. But it's all good.
fluid.
But for some people. What I'm
Yeah, I know.
That's why
it's a very interesting. Install.
a little bit. Well, I know. I mean, this is.
It is faster because it doesn't do any. So it's a little more dangerous in that you're not making sure the packages are.
Oh, yeah.
Certain other versions. Pandas does the job of solving that, but that can take a long time. I haven't. It's always on Windows. It's always on older versions. And so yeah, PIP is one for other people. I just Wi-Fi. That could also be. You already have to. You already have to say.
Like, what's the
I felt like, okay, I guess it just feels like.
basic foundation?
Actually,
Basics.
Yeah.
You didn't say it, right?
You're still. Yeah, me too.
Like, who's your
yeah. I was there.
I had the same, the same issue. I was trying to, it was hard, like, because I had, so my studiers are entire country, right? And, because I was studying the impact of flooding on low in India, and so flooding. study areas for specific cities. And so I had rasters entire country. It's so much data in it. I had rasters for every day for 5 years. So 5 years times 360 days times every single tile in doing that multiple times. So you're just that turned out to be pretty difficult to figure out how to do. Yeah, everything else. I mean, I figured it out. Like I wanted to do that. Geotiffs that I have, and I wanted it to be right to one geotiff. I wanted to have one geotiff that was like just dots. Well, I didn't want to have like hundreds of separate tips. And I had to do all my analysis. Every time it's like someone says, okay, we're going to look at this whole city. So we're just going to go. And I was like, okay, but I would do that 100 times. And I don't know. I want to have a better separate.
Oh, you're good. I thought you were like. How's it going?
You need to like.
How does it work?
I have a raster, so, you know, but then you're in art. Like this is
Those I open.
yeah, and they don't.
Yeah.
I don't know, so you don't want to have.
Oh, nice. Another win. Yeah. Okay. How are we doing over
Is it still?
That's okay. That's okay if you get ready. Okay. So we're gonna do the same thing. Right around Jupyter Lab. You know, maybe you like what you just did.
Yeah, that's the thing. Where we use it, navigate it. Installing the package.
So that didn't work, right?
Yeah.
So now we're just gonna install.
Maybe that's what
Everything after Jupyter Lab, including the yeah, and I've
yeah, what I end up realizing, right, that you still have a massive and your email doesn't save having
I don't want
and then separately copy all this.
yeah, I had to figure that out.
What?
Oh, no.
Yeah. You already have it installed when you install it. It's another way to install it. I know that. Like with that. Or
Just wait for it.
No, I changed. Like they tried to type and then they tried
Spider is Spider looks like
What's that? We're going to start Get started. Yeah, but you started in type.
Yeah, so this is.
Try that. Can you activate your
First things that but that should be in the
So let's just
doesn't like these. Okay, so if you try to. Yeah. So what you would do is line the backslash, but paste them together.
So you don't need to actually. Yeah, so hit install graph. So I think we're mostly solving everybody's issue. I know that there's still some folks that need help, and I'm definitely going to get to you, or Chuck is going to get to you. We are going to take the coffee break in about 10-ish minutes. Just to give folks a chance to decompress. Setting up Python environments is hell. I, as a machine learning engineer, like dealing with dependencies on GPUs and stuff. It's just the bane of my existence. And it's something I spend an embarrassingly a large amount of time doing today, even as a professional programmer. So it is okay that it took this long. We are going to get started after the coffee break in 10 minutes with the lesson. So we're going to take the coffee break, then come back and actually get started with the lesson content. We still have plenty of time to get through everything, so all good. one common issue that I have encountered is that I've been trying to tell people to pip install if Conda is taking too long. You might just wonder, like, why is this Conda install taking too long? I think the Wi-Fi connection is slow, and so that spinning wheel solving the environment, everybody in this room using the same Wi-Fi connection, it's not that fast, and that is why that is happening. Pip is faster because it doesn't do that solving. But you might get an error saying like Python graph is not found. You have to do pip install graph is. So not pip install Python graph is, pip install graph is. If you're doing the pip method, if everything worked with Conda, don't touch pip. Yeah. Does that make sense?
If it doesn't make sense, it's okay. It doesn't make sense to us either.
That way. So just start Jupyter Lab and then go through all those steps.
Oh, yeah, Windows is.
Oh, no, this is just showing time. It looks like nothing. You try to run it now. I've been in sure, that's fine. Well, it's actually not. This is launching. Yes, so we want to. I was expecting. We're trying to get more airflow. It's very unpredictable.
After that,
So if you're all done with setup, I encourage folks to go stretch, go get some fresh air, so that we come back refreshed for the lesson. I think they'll have coffee out at some point on this floor. Yeah, I encourage folks to stretch because then we'll be sitting down for a while and like doing coding.